because he ignored his mother's phone call before committing suicide. The man was cast into hell by death itself. However, instead of receiving immediate punishment, he was reincarnated as a newborn baby. He planned to use his past memories to reach the top of the world. But reality quickly dealt him a crushing blow.
조용히 자자하라고! 씨발 너 때문에 내가 커피 한 잔도 편하게 못 마시잖아!
Looking at his new mother's erratic behavior, Choi-yi sensed a looming danger. The moment they got home, his mother slammed him onto the sofa. She screamed at her husband to go feed the child. The father seemed like a decent man at first, but then, the father noticed the baby formula had been expired for a year. The mother coldly replied that it didn't matter, saying it wouldn't kill the brat anyway. The father actually agreed with her, thinking that a baby wouldn't be able to taste the difference.
아이 맛있어. 아이 맛있다. 아이 맛있어.
안 먹어. 안 먹어.
아 짜증나게 진짜. 뱉지 말라고 확 시작.
Suddenly, the police arrived for a surprise inspection. The father rushed to wipe the baby's mouth, while the mother used air freshener to hide the smell of cigarettes. The officers stated they received a report suspecting the couple of child abuse. A child protection specialist was also with them. The mother denied everything, but the police pointed out that the hospital found signs of domestic violence on the baby. The officers pushed past them to search the house, and the couple's expressions turned grim. Just as the specialist was about to examine the baby's body, the father lashed out in anger, asking if they looked like the kind of people who would hurt a child. He pulled out a business card and handed it to the expert. It turned out the man actually worked at a child welfare center. The police saw the warm family photos on the wall and decided they didn't look like monsters. Since the specialist found no obvious external injuries, the police assumed it was all a misunderstanding. After apologizing, the officers prepared to leave. Choi-yi screamed for help at the top of his lungs, but all that came out were high-pitched baby cries. The officer remarked on how lucky the baby was, saying he must be so well loved by his mother. Then, the police and the specialist left. As his only hope faded away, Choi-yi had no choice but to shut his mouth. The air in the room became suffocatingly tense. Suddenly, the mother charged at him like a maniac.
내가 뭘 잘못했다고 경찰까지 오고 지랄이야! 네가 뭔데!
She threw the baby hard onto the floor, then took a pillow and pressed it firmly over his face. When Choi-yi woke up again, he was back in the underworld. He screamed in rage, asking how such evil parents could exist in the world. But death told him that nothing in this world is guaranteed. He had always taken life far too lightly. Death forced him to remember the moment he jumped to his death. The life and death he considered so trivial was a precious opportunity that the murdered child never even had the right to choose. To punish his contempt for life, death granted him 12 chances at reincarnation, but the 12 people he would inhabit were all destined to die. If he could change one person's fate and save them, he could live out the rest of that person's life. Otherwise, he would be cast into the depths of hell for judgment. And just now, he had already wasted his first chance. With that, death raised a pistol and pulled the trigger without hesitation. When Choi-yi regained consciousness, he found himself free-falling from thousands of feet in the air. What made him even more desperate was that he wasn't wearing a parachute. This beginning was truly on hell mode.